You own rockets. You own electric factories the size of cities. You own the platform where 3 billion people argue every single day. And you haven't slept since Thursday. This isn't a dream. This is your Tuesday.
4:47 a.m.
No alarm. Your brain stopped allowing that years ago. Before your feet hit the floor, the phone. Always the phone. A launch window just shifted by 9 minutes. That 9 minutes costs $41 million. A leaked internal email is now trending in 22 countries. An engineer in Austin sent a message at 2 a.m. flagged urgent. The kind of urgent that means someone already made a mistake and is hoping you fix it before the press does. You read all three. You feel them land. Somewhere behind your eyes, somewhere in your chest. You stand up. You go to work. There is no other option. There never was. By 6 a.m. you're on your fourth call. A government minister wants a conversation that is technically off the record. A board member needs a decision on a contract worth more than the GDP of a small country. A PR team is waiting, has been waiting since midnight, for one sentence from you that will either contain the story or accelerate it. You give them the sentence. You move on. People imagine power as a throne. Calm. Elevated. Untouchable. What it actually looks like is a man making irreversible decisions at 6 a.m. on 4 hours of broken sleep, while 3 screens show 3 different emergencies and everyone in the room is watching your face to decide how scared they should be. You keep your face still. That's also part of the job.
8 Uhr morgens.
30 engineers. 6 months of work spread across a conference table. You sit down. You don't speak for 90 seconds. Long enough that 2 of them shift in their seats. You ask 3 questions. Nobody else thought to ask them. The room gets quiet in a specific way, the way it gets quiet when everyone suddenly sees the problem at the same time. You tell them to start over. One of them, young, probably brilliant, probably hasn't slept either. Looks like something just broke behind his eyes. You notice. You keep moving. This is the part the documentaries cut. The part where being right and being kind are not the same decision. The part where speed has a body count, not in blood but in something quieter. Confidence. Trust. The slow erosion of people who gave you everything and eventually stopped having anything left to give. You carry that. Somewhere under everything else, you carry it. Somewhere above the atmosphere right now, something you built is moving at 28,000 kilometers per hour. You think about that sometimes. Not with pride, pride is too light a word. With something heavier. Something that doesn't have a clean name. Because you know what's inside it. Every failure that led to the version that finally worked. Every engineer who stayed until 3 a.m. for years. Every calculation that had to be perfect because imperfect means people don't come home. That weight lives in your chest permanently now. You stopped noticing it the way you stopped noticing a scar. 2 p.m. Your assistant says your name twice before you hear it. You haven't eaten. That's not unusual. The social media company is the crisis now. It's always the social media company. A policy decision you approved 6 weeks ago just became a political flashpoint in 4 countries simultaneously. The left says you're dangerous. The right says you're a coward. A senator is calling for a hearing. Your legal team has 17 tabs open. You post 8 words. Before the screen dims, 40,000 responses. You read 12 of them. You close the app. Here is what nobody tells you about operating at this scale. You stop being a person to most people. You become a symbol, a surface they project onto. They're not angry at you, they're angry at what you represent, what you remind them of, what they've decided you mean. You used to want to correct them, explain, defend yourself. You don't anymore. You don't have the energy, and it doesn't change anything. 7 p.m. Building mostly empty now. You stand at the window. City below still moving. You try to remember the last time you were down there. Just in it, anonymous, no security, no destination that mattered. You can't place it. There were people once who knew the version of you that existed before all of this. Most of them are gone now. Not dramatically, no falling out, just quietly. The schedule made it impossible. Then the schedule became normal. Then you stopped noticing the absence because there was always another call, always another crisis, always another thing that needed you more urgently than a friendship did. You told yourself it was temporary. You've been telling yourself that for 11 years. Late, building silent. Just you and a whiteboard and a problem that doesn't have a solution yet. And then quiet enough to hear the question you never ask out loud. Is this still about changing the world? Or is it about something older than that? Something you've never fully looked at? The teacher who said you'd amount to nothing. The investors who passed. The version of yourself that was once just a kid with an idea and no reason to believe it would work? You stand there with the marker in your hand. You don't answer it. You turn back to the board. Because here is the truth about ambition at this scale. The thing nobody writes about because it doesn't make a clean headline. It doesn't satisfy. It resets. Every peak becomes the new floor. Every breakthrough becomes the baseline. You solved the thing that was supposed to be the thing, and the horizon just moved further back. You used to think that would feel like failure. Now you think it's just the shape of a certain kind of mind. The kind that was never built for stillness. The kind that would rather burn than stop. Your phone lights up. Of course it does. New crisis. New decision. New 1,000 people whose next 6 months depend on what you say in the next 60 seconds. You pick it up. Tomorrow it starts again.
4:47 a.m.
Phone already glowing. The world already moving without your permission. They say the most powerful man in the room has everything he ever wanted. What they never think to ask is when exactly he stopped being able to feel it.